something that is applicable for beat creation, or perhaps maybe doing creative editing rather than extending or reducing something for the sake of an overall arrangement, but actually looking at a smaller part like a loop. And this is to do with, in Logic it's up here, in this section up here it says drag. And you've got a choice. You've got one that says crossfade, which means that if you drag something over it, it'll automatically crossfade over the two audio files. No overlap will tend to cut out whatever you're putting underneath. So if you drag something on top of it, it'll cut out what's below it. But the one I want to look at are these ones, which are the shuffle. I'm certainly aware that Pro Tools has a function like this, and this is a recent addition to Logic. I believe some of the other ones do, but I'm not entirely sure. And this one will set it to shuffle left. So essentially, anytime I move something and there's a gap, it's going to compile that. It's not going to allow there to be a gap. I'll show you here. And I'll make another cut. If I move this part out the way to the end, rather than leaving that gap there, it just compresses that file together time-wise, so it's actually just slipped it along until it joins up. And again, this is time-saving. How? Well, without that function there to do that, and this is a kind of smaller one, but if you had done the same cut, you'd move it along, and then even there I made a slight mistake, so it's trying to crossfade that, which means I've not moved it over absolutely correctly. And then move that one back over there. It's a little bit slower, and it's automatically a little bit less. There's a potential for a mistake cropping up. Let's go back to that, and we select our shuffle. So we've moved this one out of the way. Now obviously that's a fairly big chunk, but we can go in and we can make lots of little cuts. Let me just come along here. So I can start moving these things about, and as you can see, it's making space to drop something in and moving everything else off to the left. Now you get plugins that do things very, very like this, whereby they'll automatically chop things up and sort of rearrange them and spit them back out and repeat them. And as much as they're fine, you don't have to pay for it. And this has another advantage in that it's kind of training you to think about what cuts you want, about what you want to happen. Do you want a repeat to happen? Say that we wanted to repeat this one, I can just Alt and drag, that's for a copy, and then I'm just creating the space for this for me. Very, very sort of powerful, and a lot quicker than having to make all these cuts, move everything out the way, drop it in, and then go, not there, I'm going to move that back across. It's a really, really fast way of working. It doesn't require any other plugins, it doesn't require you buying anything else to do this. For going in and reversing these things, you can just, you can select individual files, you can select a reverse function. So all the functionality I've heard in these kind of like cutting and glitching programs are just available, right off the bat.